Well, hello, my YouTube friends. So, game day has finally arrived. 6 months after I bought the tickets. I paid $1,000 each for these tickets so I could take my 13-year-old niece to see this game. Unfortunately, the star of the league, Caitlin Clark, was injured and on the sideline. Where she's sitting now is her bench, and the relationship to that bench from my seating position will be important later in the video. But in the meantime, let's watch a few warm-up shots, starting with Aaliyah Boston, and then the Blonde Bombers, Sophie and Lexi. The national anthem, and then tip off. A few minutes into the game, the woman next to me hits me on the shoulder and says, "Look, there's Ashton." And seated right next to him was Mila. So Mila turned and looked at me. So we made eye contact, and then she turned and looked right at me for a minute. And then she saw who she was looking for, but she knew I wasn't that person because my phone was not at my ear. But anyway, let's get back to the game and watch Kelsey Mitchell shoot some free throws. So at the end of the first quarter, we're winning by 1 point. LA has 2 blocks and we have 1 block. At the end of the first half, we're losing by 11. And look at the 3 points. LA is shooting 50% three-pointers and we're shooting 26%. All right, we're starting the second half down by 11. So we're going to start looking at body language. And when the Fever has possession, they're at the other end of the court, so there's no one blocking my view of the bench. Now watch this next video and see if you can tell what happens just by watching the bench. Easy, right? Now let's watch Natasha Howard shoot a free throw. So someone called timeout with 11 minutes and 13 seconds of game time left, and we are down by 10 points. At this point in the game, the Fever have 2 blocks and LA has 6. All right, we'll look at more stats during this stoppage of play. They call more fouls on us than they did on LA, but we had 4 more attempts and 4 more points off of free throws. Okay, let's look at three-pointers. The LA, they're shooting 47% from three-point range. We're shooting 30%. LA, they only missed 10 of their free throw attempts. We missed 16 of our free throw attempts. So field goals, that just means baskets, right? And look at that. They're ahead by 6. And look at the assists. Of course, we're not going to have any assists if we're missing all our shots. And we were missing so many shots, it wasn't even funny. That was the last play of the third quarter, and we're down 12 going into the fourth quarter. So 3.5 minutes later, after LA did a 14-4 run, our stupid coach finally calls timeout. So here's our coach again. So at this point, we're going to watch some more body language, and then we'll see the final score.
To Dear Happy, third person, the first in the last 2 minutes. And we're going to have a timeout. Taken by the Beavers, timeout, Indiana.
All right, my friends, it was a disappointing game, and I was very disappointed that Caitlin Clark was only on the sideline, but I still had fun. My 13-year-old niece had a lot of fun, and that is what was most important. So, all right, my friends, you have a good day.